Some businesses have been around a while, but one local car dealership has been serving East Gippsland since even before the car came to Australia. In 1898, Jeremiah Dwyer built a small blacksmith shop in Nicholson Street. 10 years later, he's building buggies, drays and carts. From there, it's a natural progression satisfying Australia's early but growing love affair with the car.
I remember my grandfather wanted him to hire another farrier, that's it. And father actively rejected the whole idea all the time. But it was a case that he had probably a bit of a struggle to get the old boy to change direction, and of course in turn I had the same struggle with him because they were still operating on the old account ledgers, handwritten. My goodness, we've still got some of them there.
Back then, household names like Austin, Dodge, Morris, Leyland and Triumph were the sought-after vehicles of choice for the developing country.
I can remember magnificent old antique cars, right back to Dion, Boltons and all sorts of things, old French cars. They would have been worth a fortune today, but we just threw them out with the rubbish. Really the biggest volume when it started was probably the Automotive Company. You're talking late 40s, just after the war. You could get some Dodges, but never enough from the American Dodges. We could get English Austins, and we got those in fair numbers. They were coming in crates, basically, bolted behind crates. We just dismantled the jelly things. They had no fluids in them, no brake fluid, no oils, no nothing. They were covered by a quarter-inch of heavy wax. It was a devil to clean off.
But the world and the world of cars was changing quickly. Soon the old marques were joined and then overtaken by new world brands such as Datsun, Mitsubishi and Toyota. And with the challenges of change came the requirement for new people and ideas.
When Anthony was doing year 12 at school, I asked him whether he had any ideas of coming into business, and he said, well, I always thought I'd be offered the opportunity. Well, of course, that didn't happen. He did the year 12, then went off to university, then went overseas, and meanwhile, we changed franchises, locations, built new dealerships, did all sorts of things. So but he came in at a somewhat more mature age and with a bloody lot more knowledge than I did, of course, but that was what was needed at the time. The world's become more complex.
We've got a lot of staff that have been here a long time, really, really good and very capable team. It takes a long time to get that, and I thank Dad for being able to inherit a lot of that skill and knowledge. A lot of those people really guide and mentor me. From the financial side to the sales and operations side, I'm very, very lucky. In
a technical sense, he's run rings around anybody I know around. He's a bit of a computer nut and systems operator. Very good at that.
These days, Dwyers Toyota, Jeep and Volkswagen set the benchmark for sales, service and spare parts, not just locally but statewide. But some things never change.
The challenges that he puts out and the questions he asks and requires answers on challenges my thought process, and only good can really come from that. I mean, you still see him, he drives customers around, meets customers on the yard all the time. Some people know who he is, some don't, but the majority, when they do find out, Kevin Dwyer drove me down the street the other day when I parked my car in for a service. It's a different experience here.
It's been a long and interesting road. There's still a long way to go. Then as now, as it was way back then, Dwyer's goal is not just to match but exceed customers' expectations every single time.
The advantage we have in Bensdale and the East Gippsland area is we have slow and consistent growth. We don't see the huge highs, but we don't get the huge lows. So that makes it easier to run a business and easier to plan. And it's a great place. We're an hour and a half from the snow, 30 minutes from the beach. We've got everything going for us.